Most people think eggs are simple, safe, and healthy. But here's what your doctor probably never told you. 7 common mistakes with eggs could be quietly harming your health right now. No warning signs, no immediate symptoms, until suddenly your stomach is in agony, or worse. You've been eating eggs your whole life, thinking you're doing everything right. But these hidden dangers lurk in kitchens everywhere, putting seniors at serious risk. The truth is, eggs can be one of nature's most perfect foods, or they can become silent threats to your digestive system, your heart, even your immune system. But don't worry, we're going to show you exactly what's going wrong, and more importantly, how to fix it starting today. Type 1 in the comments if you're ready to learn the truth about egg safety that could protect your health for years to come. These aren't complicated rules, they're simple changes that take seconds to implement, but could save you from days of illness, emergency room visits, or long-term health complications. Your grandmother might have done some of these things, your friends probably still do them, but science has revealed the hidden dangers that previous generations never knew about. Stay with us, because by the end of this, you'll know more about egg safety than most people learn in a lifetime, and you'll have the power to protect yourself and your loved ones. The stakes are higher than you think, especially as we age and our immune systems become more vulnerable to foodborne illnesses that younger people might brush off. But knowledge is power, and today, you're getting the knowledge that could change everything about how you handle, store, and prepare eggs. Let's start with the good news. Eggs truly are nature's multivitamin when handled correctly. Each egg contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own, complete protein that builds and repairs your muscles, especially important as we age and naturally lose muscle mass. The vitamins are impressive too. B12 for your nervous system and brain function, vitamin D for bone strength, selenium for immune support, and choline for memory and cognitive health. But here's the critical part that changes everything. All these benefits disappear the moment you make these common storage and preparation mistakes. Fresh eggs from the store have a protective bloom on the shell, a natural barrier that keeps bacteria out and freshness in, but this protection has limits and specific requirements. The moment an egg is mishandled, that protective barrier breaks down, and what was once a nutritional powerhouse becomes a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. Temperature abuse is the biggest culprit. Leaving eggs in warm environments even briefly can trigger bacterial growth that multiplies faster than you'd ever imagine. Time is another enemy. Eggs have a shelf life, and pushing past expiration dates isn't just about taste, it's about safety, especially for seniors whose immune systems may not fight off foodborne illness as effectively. The quality of an egg changes by the hour once it's compromised. What looks perfectly fine on the outside could be harboring dangerous bacteria on the inside. This is why understanding proper egg handling isn't just about cooking tips, it's about health protection, particularly for those of us who are more vulnerable to serious complications from food poisoning. The difference between a healthy egg and a dangerous one often comes down to simple decisions made in your own kitchen, decisions you probably make without thinking. Here's where many people get into serious trouble: the love affair with runny yolks and soft-boiled eggs. That Instagram-worthy egg Benedict with the golden yolks spilling over, it looks delicious, but it could land you in the emergency room, especially if you're over 65. Salmonella enteritidis lives inside eggs, not just on the shell, and it only dies when exposed to sufficient heat for the right amount of time. When you eat undercooked eggs, you're essentially playing Russian roulette with bacteria that causes severe food poisoning, and for seniors, this isn't just an upset stomach, it can be life-threatening. The symptoms start 6 to 72 hours after eating contaminated eggs: fever, stomach cramps, vomiting, and diarrhea that can lead to dangerous dehydration. For older adults, dehydration happens faster and recovery takes longer. What might be a few uncomfortable days for a younger person can turn into hospitalization for someone with a compromised immune system. The safe internal temperature for eggs is 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which means the whites are completely set and the yolks are firm, not runny, not soft, but completely cooked through. This doesn't mean eggs have to be rubbery or overcooked, it just means taking that extra minute or two to ensure they reach the safe temperature throughout. Poached eggs, soft-boiled eggs, over-easy eggs, even hollandaise sauce made with raw eggs, all of these popular preparations carry unnecessary risk that increases with age. The bacteria doesn't announce itself, contaminated eggs look, smell, and taste completely normal until the illness hits hours later. Your taste preferences aren't worth the risk of serious illness, especially when properly cooked eggs can be just as delicious and infinitely safer for your health and well-being. This mistake happens in kitchens everywhere, and most people have no idea they're creating a bacterial breeding ground. You come home from grocery shopping, you put away the milk and butter, but the eggs sit on the counter while you handle other tasks, and that's where the danger begins. Bacteria multiply exponentially at room temperature, doubling every 20 minutes once conditions are right, and eggs provide the perfect environment for this rapid growth. The 2-hour rule is non-negotiable. Eggs should never be left at room temperature for more than 2 hours, and in hot weather above 90 degrees, that window shrinks to just 1 hour. But here's what's really concerning: the damage starts happening much sooner than you realize. Even 30 minutes at room temperature begins the process of bacterial multiplication. Your kitchen might feel comfortable to you, but bacteria thrive in temperatures between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the so-called danger zone that includes normal room temperature. Once eggs warm up, the protective barriers weaken, the shell becomes more porous, and bacteria can penetrate defenses that were working perfectly when the eggs were cold. This is particularly dangerous for seniors because age-related changes in stomach acid production mean less natural protection against foodborne pathogens that younger digestive systems might handle. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Eggs go straight into the refrigerator as soon as you get home, no exceptions, no delays, no leaving them out while you unpack other groceries. Even if you're planning to use eggs immediately for cooking, keep them cold until the moment you crack them. This maintains their safety and extends their usable life. Temperature consistency is key. Fluctuations between warm and cold create condensation on the shell, which can actually draw bacteria through the pores and into the egg itself. This one surprises most people because it seems like washing eggs before storage would be the cleaner, safer choice, but it's actually dangerous. Commercial eggs in the United States are already washed and sanitized before packaging, and they have a protective coating called the cuticle or bloom that prevents bacteria from entering through the shell. When you wash eggs at home, you remove this natural protective barrier, leaving the shell porous and vulnerable to bacterial invasion that can happen within hours. Water, even clean water, can actually push bacteria through the microscopic pores in the eggshell, contaminating the contents even if the outside looks perfectly clean. The temperature of wash water matters too. If it's cooler than the egg, it creates a vacuum effect that literally sucks bacteria through the shell and into the egg. This mistake is particularly common among people who grew up on farms or remember when eggs needed washing, but modern commercial eggs are processed differently and require different handling. Store-bought eggs should go directly into the refrigerator in their original carton, unwashed and untouched until you're ready to crack them for cooking. The carton itself provides additional protection, maintaining humidity levels and preventing the eggs from absorbing odors from other foods in your refrigerator. If you see visible dirt or debris on store-bought eggs, which is rare, wash them immediately before use, not before storage, and use them right away rather than putting them back in the refrigerator. For seniors, this distinction is crucial because any bacterial contamination that develops during storage has more time to multiply and create higher concentrations of dangerous pathogens. The simple rule is, store them dirty if they come that way, clean them only when you're ready to cook them, and use cleaned eggs immediately. Cracked egg might look like a minor inconvenience, but it's actually a direct pathway for bacteria to contaminate the contents, and the risk increases dramatically with time. Even hairline cracks that seem insignificant create openings large enough for bacteria to enter, and once inside, they multiply rapidly in a nutrient-rich environment. The crack doesn't have to be obvious. Small fractures can develop during transport or handling, and they're not always visible until you look closely under good lighting. When you find a cracked egg, the safest choice is always to discard it immediately. Don't try to use it quickly. Don't cook it thoroughly thinking that will solve the problem. Just throw it away. Bacteria that enter through cracks have a head start on multiplication, and by the time you discover the crack, contamination may already be well established throughout the egg. This is especially important for seniors because the consequences of bacterial food poisoning are more severe and recovery takes longer as our immune systems naturally weaken with age. Some people try to save money by using cracked eggs immediately, but the potential medical costs from food poisoning far outweigh the cost of replacing a few eggs. Check eggs carefully when you buy them, inspect them again when you get home, and examine each egg before cracking it for cooking. This 3-step inspection catches most problems. Transportation and handling can cause cracks that weren't there when you purchased the eggs, so vigilance throughout the storage period is important for safety. The contents of a cracked egg may look perfectly normal, smell fine, and seem fresh, but appearances are deceiving when it comes to bacterial contamination that's invisible to your senses. Expiration dates on eggs aren't suggestions, they're science-based guidelines that indicate when quality and safety begin to decline significantly. Many people think eggs last indefinitely in the refrigerator, but the truth is, as eggs age, their protective barriers weaken and bacterial risk increases substantially. The sell-by date gives you about 3 to 5 weeks from purchase for safe consumption, but this assumes proper storage conditions have been maintained throughout. After the expiration date, eggs undergo chemical changes that make them more susceptible to bacterial growth and less able to fight off contamination naturally. For seniors, this margin of safety becomes even more critical because age-related changes in immune function mean less ability to fight off foodborne pathogens that contaminated eggs might harbor. The water test is a reliable way to check egg freshness when you're unsure. Place the egg in a glass of water, fresh eggs sink and lay flat, questionable eggs stand upright, and spoiled eggs float. Floating occurs because bacterial action inside the egg produces gases that increase buoyancy, so a floating egg is definitely contaminated and should be discarded immediately. Even if an expired egg passes the float test, it's still not recommended for seniors because the safety margins have narrowed and the risk-benefit ratio has shifted unfavorably. Smell is another indicator, but it's not reliable until contamination is advanced, so don't depend on your nose to detect early-stage bacterial growth that could still make you seriously ill. The financial cost of replacing expired eggs is minimal compared to the potential medical costs and health complications from eating contaminated eggs, especially for older adults. Keep a marker handy to write the purchase date on egg cartons. This helps track age when dates are unclear and ensures you use older eggs first. Eggs by themselves are actually heart-healthy for most people, but the foods we commonly pair with eggs can create a dangerous combination for cardiovascular health. The classic American breakfast, eggs with bacon, sausage, butter-loaded toast, and hash browns, creates a cholesterol and saturated fat bomb that can spike blood pressure and stress your cardiovascular system. For seniors, who often already have elevated cholesterol or blood pressure concerns, these combination meals can trigger immediate cardiovascular stress and contribute to long-term heart disease risk. The problem isn't the eggs, it's the cumulative effect of multiple high-fat, high-sodium foods consumed together, overwhelming your body's ability to process them safely. Bacon and sausage are particularly problematic because they're loaded with sodium and preservatives that can cause blood pressure spikes within hours of consumption. Butter and margarine add saturated and trans fats that interfere with healthy cholesterol levels, and when combined with eggs, create meals that stress your cardiovascular system unnecessarily. The solution is simple but requires conscious food pairing choices. Combine eggs with vegetables, whole grain toast, avocado, or fresh fruit instead of processed meats and refined carbohydrates. Sautéed spinach, bell peppers, mushrooms, or tomatoes provide fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients that actually help your body process the cholesterol in eggs more effectively. Whole grain toast provides fiber that helps regulate cholesterol absorption, while refined white bread offers no nutritional benefit and can actually spike blood sugar dangerously. For seniors with existing heart conditions, medication interactions with high cholesterol meals can be particularly dangerous, so discussing dietary choices with your doctor is essential. The goal isn't to eliminate eggs, which provide valuable protein and nutrients, but to create meal combinations that support rather than stress your cardiovascular health as you age. Microwaving hard-boiled eggs seems convenient, but it creates chemical changes that can irritate your digestive system and produce unpleasant sulfur compounds. The rapid heating in a microwave causes proteins in the egg yolk to restructure in ways that don't happen with gentle reheating methods, creating compounds that smell bad and may upset your stomach. These sulfur compounds, particularly hydrogen sulfide, not only create that characteristic rotten egg smell but can also cause digestive discomfort, especially for seniors with sensitive stomachs. The microwave's uneven heating creates hot spots that can actually explode when you bite into the egg, potentially causing burns in your mouth or throat. For older adults taking medications that affect digestion or those with gastroesophageal reflux disease, these chemical changes can trigger more serious digestive issues than in younger people. The safer approach is to reheat hard-boiled eggs gently in warm water, slice them and add to dishes at room temperature, or simply eat them cold in salads or as snacks. If you must use heat, gentle stovetop warming in a small amount of water works better than microwaving, allowing for more even heat distribution without creating harmful chemical changes. Cold hard-boiled eggs are actually more nutritious because heat-sensitive vitamins remain intact, and they're perfectly safe to eat straight from the refrigerator. Many egg salad recipes and preparations actually benefit from cold eggs, so there's often no need to reheat them at all, eliminating the risk entirely. For seniors who meal prep, hard-boiled eggs keep well in the refrigerator for up to 1 week and can be incorporated into various dishes without reheating. Planning ahead to use hard-boiled eggs at room temperature or cold eliminates the reheating risks while maintaining all the nutritional benefits and convenience. Eggs remain one of nature's most complete and affordable sources of high-quality nutrition, especially valuable for seniors who need efficient protein sources for maintaining muscle mass and bone health. But as we've seen, the difference between healthy eggs and harmful eggs comes down to simple handling, storage, and preparation decisions that you make every single day in your kitchen. These aren't complicated rules that require special equipment or extensive knowledge, they're straightforward guidelines that become second nature once you understand the science behind them. The key principles are simple: keep eggs cold consistently, cook them thoroughly, respect expiration dates, avoid cracked shells, don't wash before storing, pair them with heart-healthy foods, and reheat them gently if at all. For seniors, following these guidelines isn't just about preventing an upset stomach, it's about avoiding serious health complications that can result from foodborne illness in older adults with potentially compromised immune systems. The good news is that properly handled eggs provide exceptional nutritional value, supporting brain function, muscle maintenance, bone health, and immune system strength, all critical concerns as we age. Your investment in learning these safety principles pays dividends in better health, fewer medical concerns, and the confidence to enjoy eggs as part of a healthy, varied diet throughout your senior years. Remember, food safety isn't about fear, it's about knowledge and respect for the foods that nourish us, understanding their requirements so we can enjoy their benefits safely and confidently. Take these guidelines seriously, share them with family and friends, and make egg safety a non-negotiable part of your kitchen routine. Your health depends on these simple but critical practices. If this information helped you understand egg safety better, share it with someone you care about, because preventing foodborne illness in our senior years is one of the most important gifts we can give ourselves and our loved ones.